हाँ कर दो। हम्म, हम्म। Om Shanti, Om Shanti, and good evening. A very warm welcome to all the participants. Yet another refreshing Sunday evening talks from Shanti Sarovar. This is a weekly series on wide variety of highly beneficial topics conducted every Sunday by expert speakers online from India and abroad. So, as you all know, today's topic is digital wellness. So, as we all see in today's digital age, unlike previous generation, people today are flooded with information from multiple devices through dozens of services streamed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It can be a lot for anybody. Mobile and other digital technologies have become an indispensable part of our lives, bringing many advantages, but too much of good thing is becomes bad sooner than later. It's no surprise that these new lifestyles are leading to anxiety, addiction, and depression. So, digit digital wellness is a preservative measure aimed at regulating and improving the healthy use of technology. So it's important one's physical and mental health in this digital age. So to shed light on this topic, today we are delighted to have Sister Monika from Delhi with us on this topic. So Sister Monika Gupta. Sister Monika Gupta, a brand storyteller, a digital strategist, has served the industry for over a decade in managerial as well as leadership positions, and about the same in the world of digital advertising. She has worked with reputed brands as a professional and from marketing executive to country head. In her entrepreneur avatar, she has been the inspiration behind the successful brand communication agency, which is Interactive Bees, which has spread its wings over 11 years of its existence and has partnered with national, government, and international. She has successfully built the organization from scratch since its inception and got it to stand tall among well-established competitors. The agency has won many awards, among them being the prestigious Red Hearing Top 100 Asia Company 2016, India 5000 Best MSME Awards 2017, the biggest business awards for excellence in quality in the year 2017, Drivers of Digital Summit Awards for Video Content Marketing 2018 and 2019, Consultants of the Year 2018 for Digital Marketing by Silicon India. So she has received India's, and she has also received India's most prominent women empowerment awards by Merit Awards and Market Research. She is also an innate spiritualist and has been associated with Brahma Kumaris for over 34 years now. She strongly believes that in today's world where everyone is talking about disruptive solutions, the biggest gift that we have got in our life is the thought power. We got to learn the art of making our mind our friend. So she is also a firm believer that each one of us has the power to create our own destiny. One needs the right nurturing and investment of time and energy into knowing ourselves. So it is only then we can deal with all kinds of challenges smartly. So, so let's listen from Sister Monika now. Over to Sister Monika. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister, for giving that wonderful, flattering introduction. Uh, well, it's my privilege to be amongst all of you to share my thoughts on this very interesting, session, which is digital wellness. Well, I'm sure you all must be thinking that a digital marketing person, a digital strategist talking about digital wellness. Well, yes, I think I have lived this life and living it more so, and hence I'm enjoying the balancing out. So, very rightly said by the sister just a while back, when the use becomes misuse, that's what starts creating a problem. So I'm not averse to using these digital technologies, but the whole intent in this today's session would be, can we just use the things and not, let them overblow ourselves? So when I was thinking of about speaking with you, I was just trying to reflect our own lives and the dreams as youngsters that we all have in our life. In fact, not just youngsters, but everybody dreams of a life which is full of love, a life which is full of happiness, a life which has peace and equality. While what we see today, I think there is a lot of inequality, racism. That's what we are coming across. We dream of a life which has freedom. But somewhere down the line, sometimes we feel that, is such a life really possible? We want a life which is not only comfortable, but we should have good health. And today, look at this. Everybody is talking about staying healthy, but how do we stay healthy when the whole world is, undergoing this major pandemic? By, the definition, if you go what WHO says, health is a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being, and not just merely absence of disease. Now, here, let us just understand the word disease. If you try and split this word, disease, it's made up of two words, dis plus ease. When the easiness in my life goes away, that's where, either physically or mentally, I start feeling that discomfort. But if we talk about the word wellness, I think it's a step further. Wellness is of the mind. It's a state of mind, it's a phenomenon where, we are not just talking about illness, but it is a dynamic process of change and growth. Let's understand a very simple thing. Change is only constant. We've seen the way things have changed. We've seen the way, the whole situation has changed. The economies are changing. The way we have been communicating has changed. The way we have been now professionally working from home, that whole culture has changed. But the bigger question that we all will ask today ourselves is that are we ready for that transformation that just change is asking from all of us? Are we realizing that there is a need to bring about that transformation? Because transforming is a personal choice. And if we really want to stay fit, if we really want to be well, wellness in our minds first. And then is the physical wellness. My dear friends, if we really wish to be completely healthy and wealthy and being well, it's important to constantly grow with these changing times. We all feel that, is it really a utopian thought that can we really be healthy? Can we really be happy? Can we really be enjoying our life? Well, yes, I remember long, long ago. There definitely used to exist a life where we all used to enjoy being human beings. I remember when I used to return back from school, I used to literally throw my bag in one side and jump onto lunch, and then we were out in the fields to play and enjoy. Those were the times when we were less connected through any of the devices. Our mom actually knew that the children are out in the field. They will come back when they have played, and then they would actually study and do their work. So that was a relaxed life. We used to literally laugh and enjoy our life. I'm sure most of us would have painted these kind of drawings, making a beautiful landscape. I think we all have lived that life. Slowly the time started evolving, and there was a lot of new innovations that came in our life. The biggest revolution that came in our life was the computers came in, and then slowly the complete ICT, which is the information technology, started changing. We had mobile devices. Initially we were using them only for making calls or sending SMSs. The things kept on changing. The technology actually started changing the way we were doing our businesses. It became an integral part of our professional life. It became a force multiplier, so much so that today every aspect became very simple with this technology. I remember those times when, even 20 people could not finish a particular job in 10 days. Now, with just press of a button, we can simplistically achieve anything in our life. The demands started growing constantly. Year on year, month on month, organizations started and demanding three things. We wanted to be better. We want to be faster. We want to be cheaper. Better, faster, cheaper were the words which everybody started rhyming. And when everybody asked for from all of us these three things, that's when we human beings started moving towards using more and more and more technology. The technology, which at one point of time became a tool that we wanted to use, then became a tool that we need to use. And today, that technology has become a tool that we must use. You see, we created an era of timeless and endless web. 24 by 7, 365 days in a year, we were connected with these technologies. So much so that this technology became a must use for us. It was easy for us to invest, actually start enjoying these technologies. But today we are so emotionally invested into these technologies that it's becoming difficult for us to leave these apps, and it has slowly turning out into an addiction. How we slowly start getting into this addiction loop is what I am going to show to you. Now look at this very beautiful two loops. One is the initiation loop and second is the compulsion loop. The first time when we started using these digital technologies, or just remember those times when we first started posting on our social media platforms. That was the time when we started creating more friends, we started connecting with people. The first time when you posted and people started liking it, people started sharing it, people started commenting it. Immediately, there is a feeling of reward and pleasure. For a simple reason, the brain releases a neurotransmitter which we call as dopamine, which gives me a feeling of a reward and a pleasure. The moment I get this feeling, it initiates a loop wherein I start posting more and more and more. Slowly, I start keying down on these pleasure seeking devices. I slowly start developing cyclical and habitual pursuits. I start sending more and more and more comments. This slowly starts, pushing us into a compulsion loop. We are compelled to use them again and again. We start putting more and more posts, because if we are not posting, then there is a feeling of missing out. And that's what we today call as FOMO effect. People feel that if I'm not going to post, what people would have nothing to talk about me, so let me start posting more and more. Whether it be digital technologies or whether it be you keying down onto any web series, or any, for that matter, any television programs. There are a lot of programs or soap operas which we love to watch. The first time we started watching, there was a feeling of reward and pleasure. And then slowly we started doing it, initiation loop, and slowly we started getting into a compulsion loop. When this starts happening, there was a very beautiful study which was conducted. The functional MRI of people which were addicted to these social media and technologies were compared to those with substance abuse. Now, interestingly, what I'm going to talk now is revealing for us. The overuse of these technologies develops the similar brain chemistry and the neural patterns to those with the people who are suffering from substance abuse, like heroin, cocaine, charas, ganja. The same change which you see in the brains of the people, those same changes were seen in the brain patterns of the people who were addicted with overt usage of these digital devices. Interestingly, let's understand here that internet and social media is a double-edged sword, where we today feel happy that this digital medium has connected us with our old friends, with our kith and kins world over. This is also acting as creating, a pain in our life. This constant influx of information is leading to constantly changing our brain patterns. Have you ever seen, making up of popcorns? So there is a hot stream which is passed to these, corns. And these corns, when they start getting heated up, they slowly start getting popping up. That's exactly starts happening to our brain also. This constant simulation makes our brain
accustomed to popping, to the fast-paced streams of the information that we find on internet. We are now searching for newer experiences on internet to get that dopamine shot. एंड जैसे ही वो डोपामिन शॉट मिलता है वी फील वेरी हैप्पी वी फील रियली गुड एंड दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई यू सी दे से व्हाट इज दैट थंब स्टॉपिंग कंटेंट yeah, because on the mobile devices when we are accessing that digitally, what's happening? Your thumb is constantly moving, and anything that you find interesting, your thumb immediately stops. We are becoming increasingly less adept to handle the slower pace of the real life. This condition is known as popcorn brain. Today, we take pride in saying that yes, India is number 2 in the world in total number of internet users. But my dear friends, let's ask ourselves this simple question, that what are we using these technologies for? And to everybody's surprise, you see, we are today connected to this digital medium approximately 7 to 8 hours by mobile phone or your, laptops or anything. But what are we actually using this internet or digital medium for? Approximately 2.5 hours we are accessing social media. Approximately 3 hours we are accessing the streaming videos, and the remaining 1.5 hours we are spending on these streaming music. Yes, the distraction today is truly accessible and affordable. The, you see, we used to at one point of time say that this is geo load of distraction. Yeah, and you see, by just pressing off a button you can download 100,000 hours of movies. We can download umpteen TV channels. We can download a plethora of newsletters, or the magazines that we want to go through. But ask yourself, do we really have time to actually go through so much of content? This increase in usage of technology has led to reducing time between two interruptions. And that reduction is happening asymptotically. We are approaching that time as zero. I remember in 1980s, all we used to have in terms of communication was that huge, telephone, which at one point of time, whenever it used to ring, the whole family used to run towards it. We were so excited to interact. But today, what has happened? We had pagers, we had cell phones, we had email, we had blogs, and now a whole range of, the social media has come in. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchats, and WhatsApp, and what's not. While you're sitting here listening to me, I'm sure your phone would be flooded with notifications. Just ask yourself, if you open so many, unwanted files on your system, what is going to happen? Even the best of the performing system would slowly start becoming slow. And then whenever you want to switch between files, you'll have to pay a switching penalty. That's what we call in the softwares. So my dear friends, this increased interruptions have led to decreased in the attention span. That's the reason why today, every time we feel very stressed, we feel very worked up. Let's understand very clearly, the most important ability that we have received today is nothing but the attention. And here, let's understand and ask ourselves for a while, that what are we really paying attention towards? What are those things which are asking for attention in my life? Let me give you a very simple example. If we have a small loaf of bread and 5 of us are sitting in this room, And this bread has to be distributed amongst 5 people. Now, suddenly, out of the blue, 20 more people pop in from nowhere. And now, even these guys want to have that small loaf of bread very clearly distributed amongst themselves also. Ask for yourselves, what is the quantity of peace which everybody is going to receive? I'm sure you would say this would be minuscule. And when few more people started popping in, now they also requested for the bread. What everybody would get is probably this quantity. Do you really feel that people are going to enjoy that flavor? They won't even know what are they eating. You see, that's exactly what is happening to our own selves. There is so much of constant influx of information which is happening that somewhere that well being, that feeling of easiness, that feeling of comfort which we had demanded from this technology is going away. And that's why somebody very rightly said that wherever my attention goes, my energy is flowing in that direction. And wherever my energy is flowing, constantly my life is growing in that direction. So I need to today sit back and ask myself, what am I really paying attention to? If there is something which is wasteful, which doesn't require my attention, my dear friends, let's start giving it a stop. Because this constant influx of high calorie digital diet is impacting my whole lifestyle. And this is affecting not only my brain and thinking, but it is also affecting my productivity and growth. This is creating a huge amount of stress in my family and relationships. It is also affecting my overall health and well-being. Let's just have a quick sneak peek into how it is impacting these various areas in my life. When I have to talk about brain and thinking, today our brain is becoming techno brain. There are severe behavioral consequences which we see slowly and steadily creating a disaster for us. Today, we've become hyperactive. The whole process is leading to inattention. Check for yourself. Most of the times, we are doing multitasking. We are doing WhatsApp, and then we keep listening and talking to people, and as a result we keep asking and requesting them to repeat what they said, and then we'll say, sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Why did you not hear? You were there only. You were there in that whole environment, but still we are lost somewhere else. So this inattention is constantly increasing. Not only this, today people are afraid of corona as a pandemic. My dear friends, the bigger pandemic which is going to hit the world at large would be the depression. This is the next bigger pandemic which the world is going to go through, because the studies have very clearly proven. This was a study conducted by Leeds University, which very clearly said that more we are connected with the friends on this digital world, which is internet, we are losing the track of our real world. We are less connected to our family and friends, and as a result people have started to develop depression. There was a very interesting study recently in major metros, and it showed very clearly that the pills for depression slowly and steadily started getting removed from, I mean, they were just vanishing. I'm not so so they started vanishing from the market, because in these lockdown times people were constantly on these digital mediums, and as a result they started feeling lot of depression, anxiety and stress connected constantly on these digital mediums. Not only this, the studies are huge. The University of Gothenburg very clearly said that, heavy cell phone usage is creating a problem and disorders which are related to sleep and depression. University of Missouri said that those people who are more connected with these digital platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social media platforms develop slowly the feeling of envy, depression, and anxiety. Last year I was talking to my friend and I was asking her, where do you intend to go? And she said very clearly, I want to go to Niagara. I said, why? Because my son has a competition with his friend who had traveled to Niagara and he had taken a selfie there. So I want to he wants to show to his friend that, listen, I have also traveled to Niagara and I want to take a picture out there. You see, the times which we were spending with our family to enjoy and unwind have today become a time where we are trying to showcase somebody, or we are trying to please somebody. We are trying to please those people who have no value in our life. We want to visit a place because we want to take a selfie there. That's how the life is changing. The study at Baylor University very clearly showed that heavy smartphone makes us more prone to moodiness, materialism, temperamental behavior. I was recently watching a very interesting webinar which was conducted by Google. And they were saying that today, if you feel that the sales of the products have decreased, it's not that. The sales are constantly on an increase because people have started spending their time on these digital mediums. And today, brands have started investing in creating an environment where they can create experience, and virtual experience is definitely on an increase. Hence, they are constantly showcasing fashion to them and new stuff to them, and people are investing on digital mediums to buy these products. You see how the technology has taken over on ourselves. This overt usage of digital technologies are also creating an impact on our productivity and growth. This is a very simple mathematical equation which says high quality of work is equal to time spent on the work into intensity of focus. If I tell you that I took 10 hours to create this presentation for you, but my intensity of focus was only 20%, because there were a lot of things which were coming in between, and I was giving only 20% of the focus to the whole work. So if I ask you, what is the actual quality man hours that I have given on this particular presentation? If anybody would want to write on chat, yes, it is only 2 hours it took me to create this presentation. So not only this, there were studies and researches which were conducted in the organizations. And most of the employers and some honest employees responded that we have developed a habit of digital cocaine. Constantly, people are going on these digital gadgets and they are trying to constantly feed their brain with some or the other information. And when this is constantly increasing, so 55% of the distraction in the workplace is caused by increased cell phone usage. 75% of the employers say that daily 2 hours that is going waste for each and every employee on these digital gadgets. 28% is the increase in mistake on employees, for the employees which are getting back on their work through these phone calls. So when you are on your phone calls, you totally lost the track of what you were doing, and you end up making mistakes. So today we've become individuals with continuous partial attention. We repeatedly are giving partial attention to what we are doing. And that's the reason why people have today started saying कि life में कुछ मजा नहीं है. I sometimes question, we are living in an era where we are spoiled for choices. Best of the technology, best of the gadgets, best of the applications, web series, 24-hour channels, and huge internet, speeds which we are being given, the whole range of games which are available. Still, we say life mein maza nahi hai. For a very simple reason, we have developed the habit of switching between the tasks. And since we are trying to do multitasking, so this is only our ego which is constantly forcing us to do like this. And our ability to enjoy our life is going down. These digital technologies are creating a catastrophic effect on our relationships and family life too. Today, our home has become like a virtual hotel. Everybody has found out a personal comfort zone, and sitting in their own comfort zones, we are having some or the other screens. We are connected to some or the other screens, and we feel that we are enjoying there. Both parents are busy, and the small kid is actually watching for some time when they are interacting. And as a result, even the kid is slowly getting into watching these digital technologies. So this is creating internet paradox. More connected to these digital mediums, and we are less connected to the real life and the real family. I sometimes pity, those old, and actually look forward to those olden days when, you had your birthday and there were 10 people calling you or physically coming to you and meeting up and wishing you. Today, the times have changed. WhatsApp or Facebook has created a medium where maybe, 100, 200, 300 people wish you and say happy birthday, and happy birthday. But that warmth, which, you really used to feel when somebody close to you used to call you, that charm has actually gone away from our life. Today, when we are sitting in lockdown, and not just lockdown, people are filing umpteen divorces. The divorce rate is constantly on an increase because, and there was a very beautiful, case which came up by, Mr. Narendra Singh, and he had to file this case against his wife that he wanted divorce for a simple reason: the wife didn't change. And finally, even though he had to put his children to a boarding school, still the wife never changed her style. She was so damn addicted to these digital technologies. So the houses and the whole lifestyle is getting disrupted. These digital technologies have even gone to our personal lifestyle. It is affecting our health and well-being. And there is a whole range of e-diseases which have started to come up. If you see the radiations which are emitted by these digital technologies are huge. WHO has very clearly said that the radiations which are being emitted constantly through these devices can be carcinogenic. There is a whole range of eye related disorders. You see, the long term use of smartphones is leading to eye pain, leading to blurring our vision and leading to dry eyes. There is a whole range of neck pains, and I'm going to show how this neck pain is triggering. The stress is increasing, the sleep quality is reducing, and the germs and bacteria which we are constantly ingesting. Ask yourself, when was the last you had cleaned your digital devices, be it your phone or your laptop? Do we ever think of cleaning these devices? And if we are not cleaning and not properly washing our hands, my dear friends, we are constantly ingesting the germs in our stomach. There is a whole range of weight problems which are coming. We are sitting on these digital gadgets and constantly eating. So today we've become like couch potatoes. Relationships are going for a toss, and in Delhi especially, we've seen that people are driving car with these digital gadgets being on, or some screen being on, and they are watching films or listening to some movies and videos and song videos and whatever. And that's the reason why this is increasing lot of accidents on road. A whole range of impact which is created by this blue light on our brain and our body. The memory starts getting reduced. There is it is making us to learn slower. The learning is becoming very hard. The neurotoxins are decreased. There is a whole range of depression diseases which are coming up. The obesity is increasing. There are this is carcinogenic. The cataract issues are there, and there are a whole range of retinal problems which are coming up. Not only this, there are a whole range of diseases. We develop text clot, text neck, a stress starts building up. The wrist problems are coming up. Look at this, how this texting is damaging our own spine. In normal case, the weight of our head is typically 4 kgs. When this angle changes to 15 degrees, this weight turns into a 12 kg. And slowly, if you see, this angle is increasing, and this weight on the spine of this head is constantly on an increase, which further becomes, this 4 kg head becomes 27 kgs, leading to a huge problem in my spine, and leading to lot of other pains which we slowly start developing. So my dear friends, isn't it high time that we really need to bring about a change? Because too much of anything good becomes bad when we start losing this balance. And same holds true for the digital medium. You see, sugar is good for us, even salt is good for us, but in an apt quantity. The moment you start ingesting them more and more, it starts disrupting the whole scenario. So the solution is not in disconnecting with this digital media. No. The solution is that we have to learn the art to connect with this world better and smarter. And for that, we'll have to learn the art of holistic wellness. The holistic wellness is a mixture of proper diet, proper exercise, and proper rest. And I'm going to share with you what is proper diet for us, what is proper exercise, and proper rest for all of us. Are you ready to press this buzzer of start? If yes, let's start. And let's learn to take self care. For self care, sometimes, we need to understand that we all have to learn a very simple thing known as digital detoxification. And for digital detoxification, the word IT has a solution towards it. Let's start putting I before T. Let's let's very clearly understand that the most important person in my life is me, myself. How? When we say that I love somebody, I wish to spend time with those people. You have actually answered very clearly for yourself. You want to spend time with somebody because you love that person, because you feel happy staying with that person. So, who are we actually trying to please? We are always trying to please ourselves. So the most important person in our life is me, myself. So let us start taking care of ourselves. Let us start empowering ourselves. So let us start putting I before T. That is putting I before technology. I'm sure you would say, is it really possible? Can we really detoxify ourselves? Can we really bring about that change in our own lifestyle? Yes, my dear friends, everything is possible. And the simple solution to this problem is the power of neuroplasticity, which each one of us have in our own brains. What does this neuroplasticity do for us? The neuroplasticity is the ability of everybody's brain to rewire itself. It starts making things easier for us if we start practicing them day in, day out. I'll give you a very simple example. Just look at me. Let's say there was a beautiful garden and everybody started walking through a particular path slowly and every day. Every day you started following a shortcut in that garden, and this slowly what you see is that grass starts to disappear from them, from that place. So much so that a trail starts to get formed. And then it just becomes a logical path over a period of time. That similarly happens with our brain also. If you start practicing a thing for a week, then new connections are formed. With 8 weeks, you see observable brain changes start happening. The new positive habits get created. You start practicing these digital technologies, you keep practicing it, brain is going to make them easier for you. It keeps making and simplifying it for you. The simple self-care practice, which I'm going, and very simple tips, which I'm going to share with you right now in using your mobile phone are: start reducing the brightness of your phone. The screen brightness should be turned down if you really want to keep your eyes healthy. Start using a hands-free. Don't use the wireless hands-free, but use this wired connections, because this emits less radiations. In fact, the least radiations. If you are not happy to use these wired hand frees, then my suggestion to you would be start using your mobile device on a loudspeaker mode. Whenever you are making a call, don't immediately put your phone on your ears, because that's the time your phone is emitting maximum amount of radiation. Once the call has got connected, that's when you can bring phone near you or use a hands-free to talk to the person. The other simple detox practice could be follow simple hygiene tips. Number one, clean your gadgets periodically. If you can do it daily, that is the best. But if you cannot do it daily, start doing it periodically. Wash your hands before having your meals. And uh, create an e-free zone in your room before going to sleep. Now, what does that mean? When you are going to the sleep, if you can, then put your phone on a switch off mode. If you cannot, then put your phone approximately 6 feet away from you. Start using a physical alarm clock instead of your mobile device being used as a clock. My dear friends, this is not going to cost you huge, but this is definitely going to relieve you from lot of stress. And the most important is be diligent and caring for your own self, where D stands for discipline your own life. And I'm going to share with you two very interesting exercises. Discipline by following 60-40-60 principle. For the initial 60 minutes of the day, when you wake up, ask yourself, what is that thing that you do in your life? I'm sure you all would say our hand actually goes on our mobile device and we immediately start checking our WhatsApp or social media. My dear friends, the heavens are not going to fall apart if I do not access the digital devices. Let us empower ourselves. Because if I really want to make my day great, it is important I need to make my mornings great. I need to give a great start to my morning. If I really want my morning to be great, then my nights have to be great. And for that, when you sleep at night, what you have to do is for 60 minutes before you go to bed, there should not be any digital usages. I sometimes talk to a lot of young people and they say, sister, we watch, web series, we watch something and then we keep and we go to our bed and we sleep. We don't even know when we actually slept watching these web series or accessing these social medias. My dear friend, if you have to stop your car, if you have to park your car, if you have to put your car on stop, what do you actually do? You put off the keys and actually bring your car on halt. Once the car has come to a halt, you actually take out your keys. Everything is at standstill. By mere bringing your car in neutral doesn't mean that your car has stopped. You have to bring your engine also on a stop. So when we go in bed, it's very important and pertinent that we have to bring our mind and brain to the sleep. Because physically the body sleeps, but the mind is constantly working. And that's more so the reason, even if we sleep for 10 hours, we still feel, बस 5 मिनट और जरा सोने दो. जो काम 10 घंटे में नहीं हुआ, how can that happen in 5 minutes? Then, when you are with your family, learn and develop the habit of having e-free meals. By e-free meals, I mean when you are with your family, don't have and don't access your digital devices, whether it be your mobile phone, tablet, or even watching a television. Because that's the time when you are spending with your own kith and kins. We say we love them. हम सारे दिन जो कमाते हैं, हम तुम्हारे लिए कमाते हैं. But where do I have time for them? Ask yourself. That's the most beautiful time when you can spend with them, asking them, talking to them, telling them that yes, we care for them. You see, in my family, we three of them are doctors, and myself being an entrepreneur. Till date, whenever we are having our meals, we make sure there are no devices that we are accessing. That's the time when we rejuvenate, we talk, we interact, and that's the time when there is exchange of ideas. So 60-40-60 principle can help you empower yourself. A lot of people say that we have eye issues. Yes. So in these digital times, when you're working from home, when your children are also studying from home, everything is happening from home. So needless to say, we are accessing more of these digital gadgets. But a simple 20-20-20 rule can really relieve you from stress. Every 20 minutes spent using the screen, you should try to look away at something that is 20 feet away from you. Watch it for 20 seconds and then again come back to your work. This is going to, contract and relax the muscles in the eyes. and your eyes will get relaxed, and the eyes would be less watery and dry. You would really start feeling rejuvenated. I stands in diligent. I stands for introspect periodically. Whenever there is a next notification which is coming in, ask yourself three things: whether it is purposeful, whether it is useful, or is it necessary. If it is neither purposeful, nor useful, nor necessary, put it off. It's not necessary. Whatever applications that I have on my phone, I need to have their notifications activated. Let's give our mind, let's give our brain some rest. L stands for learn to read. Why? Because you see, when we are surfing online, it's like information decoding. But when we are reading from a physical book, from some physical paper, that's when the information integration happens. Let me show it to you. How does that happen? As I just told you, neuroplasticity is a phenomenon which, when you are repeating a particular habit, it is making, the brain is making that thing easier for you. Similarly, we lost, with these increasing digital technologies, we lost the art of reading books. And there was a very beautiful study conducted by Professor Gary Small. There were scans which were done by a person who was reading book versus a person who was surfing online. When a person is reading a book, there are less areas which are getting activated. And when a person is surfing online, there are more number of areas in the brain which are getting activated. Even the frontal lobe, which makes decision, is getting activated. The more areas are getting activated, the more is the energy consumption and the more tired you feel. Why that happens is because when I am reading from a physical book or a paper or a newspaper or whatever, that's when I am simply reading the stuff what is written. There are no hotspots that are available. But when I am digitally accessing the devices, that's where my brain has to constantly make decision. Should I click it or should I skip it? So there are more areas which are getting activated. We have to constantly decide, should I click it or should I skip it? And that frontal part in my brain is getting activated. Then I stands for involve yourself in some or the other hobbies. I think this was a great time. Lockdown times were the great times when we could look inside our own selves, empower ourselves, enjoy those hobbies which we had left long back. And I'm sure most of you would have definitely inculcated or reactivated those interesting hobbies that we used to do in our childhood: singing, dancing, going in nature and watering the plants, plantations. I think there were amazing things that we left back. G stands for gratitude and being grateful. Gratitude towards, you see, it's a very beautiful way of giving it back. It's like, throwing a frisbee, and the more you throw, it just comes back to you. Similarly, gratitude towards nature. The Mother Nature has given us so much, the love, affection, which we got from it. But what have we given in return? Pollution, spoiling the whole situation. And this lockdown was a beautiful way of Mother Nature healing herself. So let us give time to have being grateful and giving gratitude to the wonderful nature, to the wonderful family, to the wonderful friends that we have got in our life. Enjoy with family and friends. You see, when two people are in a particular space, there is an authentic and physiological encounter that happens when two people are there. Emotional and physical presence is there, and lack of these human moments is increasing toxic worry and damaging our emotional health. So it's important to please, please, please spend time with your own family. मुझे इस पे एक बड़ी हंसी की बात याद आती है. किसी ने बड़ा सुंदर कहा था, एक दिन मोबाइल फोन खराब हो गया एंड ही सेड कि आज पहली बारी फैमिली के साथ बैठने का मौका मिला. बड़े अच्छे लोग हैं. Yes, they are wonderful people. They are your own family, जिसके लिए आप पूरा दिन you are spending outside. Try and spend time with your family and friends. N stands for nature. Go in grass, go into the nature. Ask yourself, when was those 15 minutes when you spent in this nature? The nature has a very beautiful way of healing us. Walk in grass barefooted. You'll feel so much rejuvenated, and you'll feel, listen to the sounds of the nature, listen to the chirping of the birds. It's beautiful and unwinding. And then T stands for take out time to empower yourself. It's the most important thing. Ask yourself, who are we? We say we are human beings. Human beings is made up of two very beautiful words, human and being. Human is this body, the soil, the soma. Yeah. And this body is made up of five elements: the earth, the water, the air, the space, or the fire. Prithvi, Jal, Vayu, Akash, and Agni. And this body requires these five elements. And we are enjoying these five elements with these five sense organs that we have. Four are there on our face, and then is the touch. What is this being? Being is the energy which sits inside this car. If I give you a very simple example, let's say I tell you I have world's best car standing here. But the biggest paradox is in our family, none of us know how to drive the car. What is this car for me? You would say this car is like a showpiece for you. Yes, you are right in saying that. The moment we have a driver coming in, only then can we enjoy world's best car. Similarly, my dear friends, what is this body without the driver within? Who is that driver which is driving this costume? I give you a very simple exercise. If I ask you to raise your hand, just do it. Do it for me. Raise your hand. And if I ask you, who asked you to raise the hand? You would say, sister, you asked us. Yes, what happened? You say, you asked us to raise the hand. My ears have heard it. And there was a message which went to the brain. The brain said, yes, you can raise the hand. And immediately there was a motor receptor which came in and the hand came up. Now, the same thing if I tell to a dead body, would that happen? No, that is not going to happen. Why would that not happen? Because the driver is no more. चल बसा. इस शरीर में बसता था, इस शरीर से निकल गया, we say चल बसा. अरथी, अजमा रथी. The car is there, but the driver is no more. Left for heavenly abode. That's what we say. So who has to be empowered? It's not just the body. This body has been doing umpteen courses. You talk about Kellogg's, you talk about Harvard. We have been doing umpteen courses. We have been learning so much. We have been pouring so much. We have been creating so much. We have created this wonderful technology. But ask yourself, who has to be empowered? We have to empower the being, the energy, the soul, the psyche, which is there in each and every one of us, be it any caste, creed, religion, sex, age, everybody has this being. This being is the point of light and might that sits in the center of the forehead, the eternal, immortal, imperishable being which is there. Now, what does this being need, my dear friends? It requires 7 things. तभी आत्मा को सतोगुणी कहते हैं. It requires knowledge. जैसे ही हमारे पास knowledge आती है, it gives us purity, क्लैरिटी आती है हमारे जीवन में. जैसे ही क्लैरिटी आती है, the two children come, which is peace and happiness. ऑटोमेटिकली सुख और शांति हमारे जीवन में आती है. जहां सुख और शांति है, ऑटोमेटिकली वहां प्यार है. जहां प्यार है, वहां आनंद है, जिसको हम कहते हैं ब्लिस है. और जहां ब्लिस है, वहां शक्ति ना हो, ऐसा हो सकता है? So my whole life becomes empowered. I become empowered. So all what we have to do is we have to empower the being within. We have to empower the being within. So ask yourself, my dear friends, are we ready to create that conscious future? Yes or no? Can you answer to me in this chat box which is provided to you? Are you all ready to create this conscious future? Yes? So let's just go on to a very small, interesting journey. Are you all ready to come with me on this beautiful journey? So, I will sit back relaxed, very relaxed. And I'm going to give you very interesting thoughts. Hold your mobile phone in your hand and put your one hand on this mobile phone. Sit back relaxed. And whatever I say, just enjoy it. Om Shanti. Sit back relaxed in a very comfortable posture. Hold your mobile device in one hand, and with the other hand, start feeling the device. As you start feeling this device, ask yourself, this 6-inch gadget made up of glass and silicon, how slowly this has taken away comfortability from my life. We were the ones who invented these gadgets. We were the ones who created these applications. The intent was to enjoy these gadgets. The intent was to bring peace and comfortability in my life. The intent was to spend quality time with my family. But how slowly these devices have taken away peace, happiness, and comfort from my own life. Let me for a minute ask myself who I really am. Today, for the first time, I have realized that I am the energy within. the energy that is responsible for creating thoughts. Thoughts that create feelings and emotions. I, the energy, I am responsible for creating these actions. The hands are mine. I am not these hands. But yes, the actions are coming through these hands. For the first time, I have realized I am the one who's responsible for creating these emotions. I am the creator of my own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions. There had been times when knowingly, unknowingly, these digital gadgets and devices, I have given preference to them without listening to my own people, not even listening to my own self. It's high time. I have realized today I need to ask myself, who is the master? Is it me or my devices? Let me today take back my own sovereignty from these technologies, from the gadgets. It's for me to use them, not them to use me. Because I am the master within. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. So that's how we can bring about change in our own selves. Thank you so much for that patient listening.
Thank
If you have
so
any
much.
queries,
Yeah.
do let me know. Yeah.
If anybody has any queries or questions, you can unmute yourself and ask the questions or put your questions on in the chat box. कोई बोल रहा है देखो.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you very much. A very good session. We learned so many unknown things. And just I want to ask one small question. Nowadays, most of the houses, kids are addicting to the mobiles also. So if parents are not that much control, then how they can control the kids regarding
Sorry,
that?
parents are? Brother, I lost your voice.
Parents are also so much time are spending with the mobile,
Mm-hmm.
but they are trying to control the kids. So then how to that stopping to give that kids regarding that addiction related? mobiles to the kids?
It's a very beautiful question that you are asking. See, let's understand. For the children, you are the first teacher as parent. You are the first teacher whom children are looking up to. So if I really want to tell you, don't do this, look at this, my hand. There are three fingers which are pointing back to even myself. If I point out to you, don't do this, then I have to first tell and ask myself, am I not accessing these things? Now, I mean, because of the paucity of time, I didn't share some very interesting facts that why today children are using this. Since we are professionals and we really have no time because we also have to study. So what happens is in our olden days, even though my mom is a doctor, she used to find quality time with us. She used to, make us eat, talking to us, interacting with us. Today, parents are so busy that they have given their kids the mobile devices and they put on some or the other YouTube channel and they say, "Tum khana kha lo." As a result, बच्चा वो habit develop कर देता है. And then you are relaxed that now the child is busy with the YouTube and you are watching and you are working on your own and you are on your own official work. So my dear friends, it's first of all it's important to start giving quality time to your children. Second thing that we have to learn is that we need to make our children definitely busy with some physical workouts. It's a great way to actually ease them. It's a great way to spend their energies because studies have very clearly shown that by their age, like 7 to 8, these children have already witnessed 8,000 murders. Can you believe it? In our age, and these are all simulated murders, by the way, because the kind of games which these children are playing, the kind of activities these children are doing, they have already witnessed the 8,000 murders. And these have, there are studies which I can show you very clearly. At this age, look at the kind of emotional drain which our children are having. So it's important for us to first realize that we ourselves are the teachers for them. Spend quality time, educate them, empower them, and if you have empowered your children will always listen to you. आप उनको गैजेट्स दो, इंपॉर्टेंट है. मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि उनको गैजेट्स नहीं देने, उनको टेक्नोलॉजी से दूर रखेंगे. इट्स नॉट दैट, बट इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू एम्पावर देम. राइट? Does that answer? Yes. Any other questions?
Sister, I have one question.
Yeah, sister.
Okay, so let first Sister Madhuri speak and then we have the other brother coming in. Yes, sister, tell me.
Yeah. This is Meduri Venkataramana.
Okay. Sorry.
Excellent. Incredible
Thank
presentation,
you so
sister. In your presentation, you were talking about multitasking.
Ji.
So earlier, people who can multitask were considered to be the best and were in great demand. But now experts are telling that multitasking is dangerous to your brain and don't indulge in multitasking. Whether is it right?
See, brother, let's understand a very simple thing. I'm going to ask you a contra question. If 3 of you start speaking simultaneously, right? And I say I'm a great multitasker.
Yeah.
And I say I'm a great multitasker. Can I listen to 3 of you speaking, only 3 of you, speaking to, listening to all 3 of you?
Yeah.
And responding 3 of you simultaneously? Is that possible? Yes or no? Leave behind 3, 2 of you asking different questions. Can I listen to 2 of you and answer simultaneously 2 of you? Yes or no? Just say yes or no. Possible or not possible?
No.
You are asking one question, the other person
not
is asking.
possible.
See? So what we are doing is multitasking is nothing but
It's my ego that is forcing me that, yes, I can WhatsApp, I can Skype, and I can write my emails. That's not happening. There was a very beautiful study which was conducted by Professor Gloria Mark in the University of Irvine, which very clearly said that, they had put 5 youngsters who were addicted to these technologies. And interestingly, they had taken away all these digital gadgets from them, and they had asked them to work in an environment which was totally e-free. The studies very clearly showed that these guys developed a habit of self-interrupting themselves every 3 minutes 27 seconds. अपने आप कोई किसी ने किसी को कुछ इंटरप्ट नहीं किया, वो अपने आप अपने को सेल्फ इंटरप्ट करते थे. Now, if they were switching to a task which was absolutely unrelated, it took them 23 minutes to come back to the same task. आप देखो, आज हम काम करते हैं, हम सडनली एक के ऊपर स्विच करते हैं, फिर दूसरे पे स्विच करते हैं. सब चीजों की छोटी 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 थोड़ी 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 इंफॉर्मेशन है. My brain is getting tired.
Yeah.
So let me tell you a very simple thing. My mind is like a stage. If I put everything on this stage, if you are trying to organize a stage show, which is a dance show, can you ask all the dancers to come on the stage at one point of time when everybody has to dance on different songs? It will appear like you've created a chaos. Yes or no? आप क्या करोगे? एक बारी एक डांसर आएगा, वो अपना म्यूजिक प्ले करेगा, फिर दूसरी बारी दूसरा आएगा, वो अपना म्यूजिक करेगा, तीसरा, चौथा. It appears like a nice event. The moment everything comes on the stage, it becomes a utter chaos. That's how chaotic we've created our life to be. So multitasking is a fashion, is a fad, which actually doesn't exist. There is no multitasking which is possible. Because of multitasking, we have started creating lot of problems for our own selves. We are constantly creating errors and errors in the way we have been working. आप अपनी organizations को देखो ना, कितना दिक्कत हो रही है. लोगों का ध्यान कहाँ है? लोगों से हम यही तो बोलते हैं ना, ध्यान कहाँ है भाई? तो ध्यान तो WhatsApp में है ना. सोच समझ करके काम करना, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, one difference I want to know in this multitasking and having the multiple abilities. Whether is Kapil Dev was doing multitasking or being an all-rounder, was he a multitasker or having the multiple abilities?
All-rounder
whether
is a different
not,
thing.
having Kapil Dev today.
I can be a dancer. Yeah. I can be a singer. I can be a good writer also. That's an all-rounder. Multitasking is एक टास्क खत्म नहीं हुआ, दूसरा भी चालू कर दिया, तीसरा भी चालू कर दिया, चौथा भी. That's not possible.
Yeah. Right. Thanks a lot.
And I'm actually talking about brain work. While interestingly, mothers, keep knitting and listening to music. That's a separate thing. But here, multitasking means brain work. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Sister, in continuation to that multitasking is not good for the mind level. Is that if something is doing a physical level one task and one is mental, like is it possible to do?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah. That's possible.
Possible.
And other question, like that was like you said, one fMRI scan of somebody reading a book, physical book, and reading on the computer.
Sure.
Okay. And you said like one is like active, the brain's like there are more active regions in the brain if you are reading from the computer than from the physical book. Is it like activity in the brain? Is it good or bad? Like I have a understanding that brain is more active means it is good. That's what.
Yes. Now it all depends upon what age are you talking about. For people who are elderly people, it's important for them to keep their brain active.
Yes.
I would say, So it all depends upon what age group you are. One. Second thing, if you want to have a deeper learning, if you want to really learn the things through, if you want to learn the concepts, that's when reading from a physical book or a paper is a mandate. That's when you have a
I
thorough learning. But if
agree.
you are if you're talking about, just activating the brain, then definitely surfing is a great way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
Or
have
reading digitally is a great way, because surfing is surfing. You're just surfing from one page to another, and there's not deeper learning which is happening. Yes.
And one more question, like you said that when you are using this mobile phones, you use some wireless headset or something.
Don't
Is it
use wireless handsets, use this wired connections.
okay? Okay. And why not
Because
that like the Bluetooth headset or something like that will you can make more distance in fact. But
raise
there
है ना.
are some electronics there itself, but that is bad or like but you can in fact like maintain more distance like 10 feet, 5 feet
See,
something.
if you get very frequent calls,
Hmm.
then even what is happening is, even if you're using a Bluetooth, how is it working? There are some radiations which it is catching. Why unnecessarily give yourself radiations? As is pollution इतना है, as is इतनी radiations वैसे ही emit कर रहा है. आप देखो, if you remember, in olden days we used to have those small sparrows. याद है? वो छोटी सी चिड़िया होती थी जिसको
Hmm.
हम खाना डालते थे. बहुत
Yes.
मतलब I remember in my childhood I was so excited to see them a while back in these lockdown times. Again I could see few of them coming in. Yeah,
Okay.
for a very
Okay.
simple reason, pollution, इतनी सारी radiations emit हो रही हैं, वो चिड़ियाएं vanish हो गई.
Okay.
Similarly, why should I unnecessarily feed
Sister,
myself with too much
Sister
of
Gupta, I am having one question.
radiations? Ji,
Sister
please tell me.
Gupta, I am having one question.
Yeah.
Acha, as you experienced, Gupta ji, how long time you have taken being a digital wellness? How long time you have taken? What are the three important factors? Can you tell me, please? Three important factors.
As in, I'm sorry, I
Your
missed.
experience.
Okay, you mean to say how long have I practiced it in my own life?
Yes, and three important factors what you achieved by doing this one.
Oh, yes. Until quite a while back, my profession is we as a company, we are an advertising company, always connected, always connected to these digital gadgets, so much so that even I became a freak, always connected. So a couple of years back I started talking to myself that, Monica, you're also becoming slave to these technologies. And slave is a word which I never used to enjoy or like ever. Huh? Because wherever I was going, I was not leaving my device. Every time, even at night, used to literally sleep like this. The moment I used to wake up, I used to actually check, क्या phone नहीं आया, किसी का ये तो नहीं हुआ. अरे, what is this? The whole life was just going behind, around this. So the bigger advantage which I learned with this digital detox or digital wellness was, there was a feeling of me first becoming the ruler of my own self. None of these devices today, if you ask me, truly I am saying my experience that I am never a slave to these devices. Even though I'm running a digital company, I use these devices. I do not misuse technology. Neither this technology I have given the liberty to misuse my time. I do not. I come on these devices, I use these social media when I want to use it. Though my campaigns are always live, I am working on different things, but I am using it, not misusing it. So when I'm not misusing it, I am the ruler. One, I am the one who is guiding what, when, how. So the happiness is there. The second thing is there is no harmful radiations. I don't now feel fatigued. I do not wear glasses. I'm happy to share that because I keep practicing. My room is open and I have the window. I keep peeping out. When I am feeling a little work pressure, I keep peeping, and I just rejuvenate myself. So very beautiful way of self rejuvenation. And I have practiced all these things, like what I've shared with you. I am being really and truly diligent to myself. Whatever I spoke, believe me, I truly live by that. Each and everything
Tell you.
I have actually imbibed in my own life. It's not coming merely bookish. That's my life, and I'm so happy and glad to share it with you. That's how it is.
Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Well done. Tell me how you talked yourself, how you got that idea. So you
Okay.
have told me in your this question, how you got that idea. Talk to yourself.
Well, I think that's just to cut that long story short. Uh, I think bringing this empowerment or meditation in my life had undergone a huge amount of change. Because I don't know if you've ever
Okay,
heard
good.
about this disease, dyslexia. So I was suffering from this disease called dyslexia, wherein you have problems in reading, contemplating things, and a lot of other things. But the moment I realized about self empowerment and realized that it's always mind over matters, it's about empowering the driver within. That's when I could take control of my own self. I could take control of my own thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I could take control of my own actions and utterances. I could create that harmony within my own self by first realizing who I really am. So, if you actually undergo that first chapter, which we are learning here constantly, who am I? From where have I come? This is just a costume. This costume could be of a girl, a boy, an old man, a young man. It could be anything. But who I really am, can I empower the driver within? Once I start doing that, my life starts to change. Try it out. You'll enjoy that. It's a beautiful, scientific, well proven science. I hope that
Thank
answers.
you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I have one question.
Thank you, sister.
Actually,
Sister,
we are getting
I know.
short of time now. Yeah. So, so now I'd like to thank Sister Monika for this informative yet powerful session on digital wellness, and also sharing with us most practical and simple tips to imbibe in our day-to-day lifestyle. And we would also like to thank Sister Monika for holding the credit of developing and managing the website of Shanti Sarovar. Thank you so much, Sister, on behalf of Kuldeep Didi and all of us. And I have few announcements. Like for those who are watching in Zoom, if you wish to watch again, so you can subscribe to our channel, Shanti Sarod Hyderabad channel, to watch our old session recordings, as well as to keep an update on the future sessions. So to watch this session again, you can go to our YouTube channel, Shanti Sarovar Hyderabad YouTube channel, and you can watch again and share, and you can also share with your friends and family. And thank you all. And I think we are a little over time, and we really appreciate the patience of all the participants. And thank you so much, sister, for such a wonderful presentation. It was highly appreciated by all the participants in the chat box. And thank you so much for joining, everyone. We will meet you again on Sunday at the same time. So you can invite your friends and family to the online Sunday evening talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Om
Pleasure.
Shanti.
Thank you,
Om
Monika.
Shanti. Om Shanti.
Thank you very much.
Om Shanti.
Thank you, Om Shanti.